Hey, it's Moser. There we go. With conservation of energy. This is your vocabulary lab for the introduction to conservation of energy. So let's start off by looking at the terms that we're going to be talking about. We've got energy, potential energy, gravitational potential energy, kinetic energy, joules, speed, mass, work, and height. Okay, let's go. So energy, you might think you know what energy means. Energy is the physical ability to do work, and work means you have to move an object. So here's the thing. If the object doesn't move, no matter how much force you put on it, no matter how much you feel like you might have done, in a physics sense, you didn't use any energy. So energy is the ability to do work. Okay, potential energy, we store energy in a whole bunch of different forms. So potential energy is just energy that's stored in some form. And there are a number of different kinds of potential energy. Sometimes we've got energy stored in something because it's sitting up somewhere and it could fall. The position it's in, that's gravitational potential energy. Sometimes we store energy in the material itself, like a spring or a bungee cord. So the potential energy is stored in the material. That's elastic potential energy. It can even be stored in chemical bonds. When you have a bonfire, the heat energy that you're getting, the heat and the light that's coming out, is releasing chemical bonds. Okay. Now, gravitational potential energy is one that we're going to talk about a lot in this unit. So this is energy that's stored because of the position of an object that is able to fall. And there are two things that affect the amount of gravitational potential energy. Its height and its mass. So the higher up the object, the more gravitational potential energy it's got. It's kind of common sense. You knew that. But you might also know, if you think through it, that the heavier the object is, the more gravitational potential energy it's got. Excellent. So kinetic energy is the energy that is contained in an object in motion. And if you've ever had the dog run into the back of your knees at high speed or had a little kid knock you over, you've experienced kinetic energy. When something is moving, it's got the ability to do work, to apply a force and move you. My dog does this to me all the time. Okay, joules, or a joule, is the international scientific unit for measuring energy. So no matter where on the planet scientists are talking to one another, when they're talking about energy, they're talking about how many joules something releases or contains. We used to use BTUs, and you might still hear that if you have somebody talking about furnaces or something. And calories was another term that was used, another unit that was used for this. We actually still do use calories when we're talking about the energy that's stored in food. Okay, speed. You know what this is. It's how fast an object changes its position. And we always measure speed in some amount of distance per some amount of time. So we might talk about meters per second or miles per hour, inches per minute, centimeters per millisecond. It can get really bizarre. But at the base of it, it's always distance over time. And mass. How much matter makes up a thing? And really, literally, if we get down to it, this is how many atoms there are in something. And it's very different than your weight. Weight changes based on gravity. So your weight on the Earth is not the same as your weight on the moon or on Mars. Your mass never changes. Mass is literally the amount of stuff, the number of atoms that we could count that make up your body. And height. You know this one. We usually think about height in terms of how tall you are. But here, when we're talking about height, we're going to talk about the distance sort of on the y-axis, how far up something is. So it's a measure of distance up and down. When we talk about gravitational potential energy, remember, we said that the higher up something is, the more gravitational potential energy it's got. And then work. Work, when you apply a force to an object and the object moves, you have done work on that object. If the object doesn't move, you didn't do any work. So if you've got a car that's stuck in the snow and you push and you push and you push and nothing happens, no work was done. I know, it seems so unfair. Okay, that's it. It's very simple. It's very short. If you have specific questions, you should check in with me. If not, you're going to move on to your vocab worksheet.